What's up, Gungi? How are you, bud? MRELB. What's up? Hey, Fishy. What's up, Belsky? Hey, Rusty. What's up, Zandel? What's up, Dustin? Yes. Yeah, yes, there is, Zandel. It's very, 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 very tempting since it helps for all this month's people, and I think Cody is amazing. And, I love Muda, which you know. It's just money. Just do it. A restart will fix it. Okay. Yeah. There's no Aussie collection stuff today, is there? I don't know if there's any anywhere. Is there, Rusty? Other than like, doing the regular blitz. Um that has some in it, obviously. So yeah, just the regular blitz, yeah. Closer to payday, yeah. Mm-hmm. So gonna I'm gonna work through the progression of Kairi. I do want to record it. What's up, Steven Randall? Because Kairi is one of those that is very good with limited things and incredibly good with good things. And then we're going to really, really do probably a more extensive deep dive into damage at 6-star gold, in particular gem damage, so you guys can figure out with very little assistance if somebody's going to be good. My second best acro for ladies? Yeah, I think so, Zandel, yeah. Um, Definitely. So, I think to be fair, since it's Kairi, the fuse ups are all in the contest, Derek. What's up, Dylan? Um, the collection contest, all the fuse ups are in there. But I think, like, to be fair with Kairi, we'll start with a 20% strap. But of note, her moment is free. So I feel like in the Showdown shop, everybody should work towards that if you're going to use Kairi. So I'm actually gonna use a 50% gem damage strap. The collection contest, Eric. Every 2 milestones is a higher level Aussie fuse. I'm actually going to work under the assumption that everyone has the moment, because if they don't, they can work towards it. And if you're going to use Kairi, you should have it. That being said, it's a feud moment, so I'll try showing her with the moment in different ways. Might take an extra turn in some cases, but I do want to show the progression of Kairi from not very much to the best build for her. Which the best build for her is, spoiler, is going to be ridiculous in feud, you know? So I'll start with a 50% strap because the moment adds 50%. So this would basically be a 0% strap with the moment. And then I'll get to, once I get started, I'm going to record it. And then afterwards, I can try different stuff for you guys if you want to see it, more specific things. And then after we're done with Kairi, we're going to go really deep into gem damage, plates, and how you can understand so you're not wasting currency, so you don't always have to ask somebody what plate is good on who. There's some really simple ways and things you can do to understand and save yourself a lot of plate currency and questions. And hopefully I can make that more clear for you. And Derek, I'll show you the contest. It's this one right here, the Madman Collection. If you look, you get the first fuse in Milestone 1, then in Milestone 3, you get 4-star silver, Milestone 5, 4-star gold, Milestone 7, 5-star bronze, Milestone 9, 5-star silver, shocker. So Milestone 11, 5-star gold, 13, nope, it quits, it changes after that. Milestone 12 is 6-star bronze. 14 is 6-star silver. And 16 is 6-star gold. Hey, Stuart, how are you? Yeah, for sure, Rusty. Kairi is very, very good. And honestly, there's some people that don't have a strap for Rhea with an ultimate or that kind of stuff. Because she's legendary, it's hard to get the strap. And, like, Rhea, to perform her best, needs a lot of really good stuff. Kairi is much easier to obtain stuff to make her playable. Chaotic Male is Razor, the real swaggy. Technician Razor. And the lady is Chelsea. Not that Chelsea's good at gold, but because I had the shards. What's up, Spider Guard? How are you, bud? Sure, it is, but it's very good, Ethan. Anyone you don't have from the Showdown shop is worth it, in my opinion. I mean, a new superstar for free makes sense to me. D'Lo in particular covers a tough era. A lot of people, D'Lo is one of their better acrobats. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Showdown shop, like the Cody moment for Seth Rollins is super good. And then the Evolution moment, I think, are probably the two best moments in the Showdown shop, probably, question mark. I don't remember off the top of my head what all's in there, but I think those two are the best. And then, yeah, the superstars you should grab when you can, of course, because anytime you can get a free superstar, you kind of have to. Right on, Zendo. Yeah, I don't know how often they'll change it up, Rusty, but hopefully somewhat often. The problem is, as soon as they change, NOD moment to me is worthless. I think Showdown moments are completely worthless, personally. Yeah. What's up, Corey? How are you, bud? Ethan, no one on the Anvil moment is going to be very useful at gold in feud. So it was one of those things. I would get the stuff you need first, and then put those on the back burner. What's up, Ed? How are you? He's not good at all. By the way, with the leeches, there isn't a single. Only if you have everything else, Stuart. Only if you have everything else. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good moment. They are Southside, actually. There is no Leech Gem primary based card in the game poster in the game that's good. The closest would be Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, who makes leeches, but they don't add anything to his build. Yes, stay tuned. Assuming I'm on till Professor starts, which I think I should be, we will raid directly into Professor. If for some reason I need to sign out earlier, make sure and go to his stream. But I should be on, assuming he starts at 5. I'll probably end up going 2.5 hours today, so. Trick Ali is not good at gold. Sorry. Right on, Professor. Yep, so I should be on unless there's a big kind of Something going on. Mother-in-law broke her shoulder when she fell, so this past weekend. So I may have to leave for something. I don't think so, but if I do, that would be why. But I'm planning on going till 5. Yeah, you can write a little post up and pin it, Professor. I'm fine with that. It'll help remind me. Yeah, Trickster Ali, Corey. And we'll get into why better as we go in depth here. But so yeah, she'll be okay, Professor. I think probably. Yeah. Thank you for the good thoughts, guys. Basically nothing. So leech strength. Here's a great example. So Trick Ali. Let's because while people get in here, I Trick Ali. Oops, I don't need to type Trick. Let's look at his leeches. Some of the bigger in the game, right? Here's the problem with leech gems in general. 144k. Nothing you can put on them makes this stronger. Your strap doesn't affect it. There's not a plate that affects it. There's not a trainer that makes these stronger. So literally, it's like playing raw dog with nothing. So nothing in the game enhances this strength. It'll never get any stronger than this. 144k. The bottom 5 rows, you're only going to get, and this, think about this transitioning to gold, 144k, 5 rows is 35 gems. So if you take 144,000 times 35, that's only 5 million. He will only ever do 5 million in leech gem damage. The rest is pure gem damage, and there's nothing there. If he blows up the whole board, the entire board full of purple gems, his primary color, would do like 12k. Right? So there is no leech gem based person that is going to perform well at gold until they add a buff, a percentage buff to the gems it makes. So if for example, Ali had hold on, what color does he make leeches? Does he make them black or purple? It's black, right? Yeah. So if Ollie's this move was like a dual move, and it was choose purple gems and increase your black gem damage by 150%, then it would be good. Then it would be good. But other than that, no plate in the game will make a leech gem person better. Like, sorry. Plate will make them potentially better. No plate in the game will make them good. The only reason Steiner is good is because he has a purple gem buff. It has nothing to do with the leeches. Rusty, I have always maintained on a lot of the special gem types, like, metal straps, plates don't affect them, and leeches are the worst of them, I think, probably, along with, like, immobiles. Leeches and immobiles get the worst of it. I think they should just make trainers affect the strength of the leeches. That would easily... So, okay, best leech trainer, like, coach in the game, right, is 100%. Even if you doubled his leech output at gold, it's still only 10 million leech damage. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. On 60 to 80 million health, 10 million is nothing. So I think the trainers actually should affect the strengths of the leeches. That would help. That would be a start, Rusty. Otherwise, like in most cases, at gold, you'd have to quadruple or more the strength of leech gems to even to start talking about them being useful. Does that make sense? Like, are people following me yet? No, yes, no, maybe so. And I'm not saying if you like a leech superstar, not to take him up. If you like playing them and they're fun, by all means, take them up. But, like, there's a difference between, like, me saying somebody is usable, me saying somebody is fun, and me saying somebody is good. I won't say somebody is good that's not good even if I like them. Does that make sense? So Ali was amazing at silver. There's just too much health at gold for him to keep up. He was very, very, very good at silver. He just doesn't keep up at gold because the health pool is too much, and then move damage and the leech gem damage didn't get any better. What's up, Incredible Chunks? But if you have him at silver, or even bronze, he will annihilate every silver you face. You can watch my video on Julius. I went very in-depth on him. I don't think he's bad at all. I won't use him for feud, but I think he is literally going to be one of the very best boss battle posters in the game. So that has a ton of value to me. Yes, I don't have Twitch app. There's no heal gem person that's good at gold either. I just made it so you can't do 107 million damage turn 1 with Julius. You can do like 75 million now with some cascade risk. They just made this move 8 MP. They changed it from 6 to 8. You can still run the exact same build for boss, so he'll be just as good in boss. You can still hit it turn 2 for insane damage, and you could use MP down coaches. So he's still very, very good. Just not how I want to feud. And you could still use blue prop ups. I probably have enough blue props on Mherex account that I could feud with him for a couple years. Just using the blue prop up. Yes, Derek, I agree completely. I don't use people who I don't have fun playing. For example, fastest tech in the game for feud is easily and best, most consistent, to me, is easily Kaiser with a drip plate. But I don't find it fun, so I don't play. Even though he's the best, to me. Like, what I would categorize as the best. So for me, in feud, what best means is it's a combination of safety, speed, and gem damage. And damage. It doesn't need to be gem. The damage just needs to be enough to win. After that, all I care about is safety and speed. Safety is my #1 priority as long as the speed isn't too slow. So it's a combination of safety, speed, and damage to me. I don't care how hard they hit. Doesn't matter to me at all. I especially don't care how hard they hit in a tour. Completely couldn't care less how hard they can hit on a tour. On the scale of 1 to 10, how much I care about how hard they can hit on a tour, it's a 0. If that tells you, right? So, yeah. Showdown, everyone's basically the same for me, unless they have 1 MP moves, which there are very few of. Hello, Ozzy, I see you. Showdown, everybody's the same. I win with Showdown people. They're either good or they're not good. Like, so all the new posters are basically the same to me in Showdown. They're great with 99 MP, and if I have to use them without 99 MP, I can. But very few people would I actually classify as a good Showdown character. They're basically mostly the same or bad. Ozzy is good because he's got a couple of really strong 1 MP moves. So yeah. So I basically strictly rank people in how I rank them based on feud and boss. What options did I pick for the new poll? That's a great question. Let me look and see what's on there. To be honest, I haven't done it yet. Let me go to fan voting. Let's get wild and imagine areas in the... I guess I could pull it up. I just want to see. I guess I could pull it up. Yeah, there we go. But remember, it's all just hypothetical. None of these ideas are in development. Pick 3. So this is cosmetic options. I'm going to go with animations. I'm going to go with the gem board because I have trouble seeing the gem board. This is probably the most important to me because I have a hard time seeing the gem board. When the gems start glowing, I cannot tell what I've clicked. This is by far the most important to me. I struggle with this immensely. I love superstar animations, so I'm gonna go with that because that's a big deal for me. Like Ozzy's incredible. After that, I usually skip entrances, to be honest. So even though it's cool, it's not important to me. Couldn't care less about jazzing up my account name, making the titles look different. I don't care about home screen and not important. Ring environment though, I see it all the time. So like this Ozzy one, yeah, this is cosmetics. It's not improvements, it's just cosmetics. If it was strap filter, yes, for sure. Um, so the things that actually affect me, this affects my overall quality of life, and these two affect my overall fun. I.e., the Rocky characters with the Rocky ring and the punching animations, Ozzy, mutants, zombies. These two things generally impact what's super fun for me, and this impacts my ability to see the board in play. Oh, rewards or purchases? Well, still, if I could change the gem board to make it easier to see if it was a reward, I would take it. I couldn't care less about the account name for me. So the stuff I actually like is these three things. Superstar looks would be fun too, but I feel like I could use the... If they mean the side of the gem board, I don't know what they mean. If they mean the side of the gem board, then I don't care about it. But if they mean the gems themselves and the glowy, definitely that. Superstar looks would be cool too, though. That's basically gear. So I feel like I should probably maybe pick that. But wouldn't it be sweet if you could customize your animations? You could pick the faster ones. I always have the music turned off because I think YouTube will like DMC me for the music. But there's music in the game like all the time. Everyone has it off though. But I think everyone turns it off all the time. I would listen to it 100% if I didn't think I would get dinged on the YouTubes. So, yeah, those are the ones I like. Anyway, I think it's a cool poll. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, I figured Superstar looks would be at the top. That doesn't surprise me. Animations, okay, that's cool. Those are fun. Ring environment, entrances. Yeah, gem board is losing. No one cares about home screen account name or titles, apparently. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Good shout. And I'm gonna cover this later too. This may or may not be breaking news to some people. I'm gonna say this very specifically. I'm gonna cover this a few times today. Oh, that would be awesome, Derek, for sure. That would be awesome. I don't know what the licensing would be like for that. It's a WWE game, so I don't know if they'd have to pay for that. WWE just let them use it. I don't know how that goes. Um, you think it's funny to see me have fun playing Ozzy Stewart? Why do you think that's funny? Thank you, Professor. I will pin that sucker till the end of stream. And as long as I'm still streaming, which I plan on doing, we will raid into Professor for the giveaway, guys. So you have a shot for giveaways. Loot pull giveaways and awesome gameplays. Okay. Now, you guys know I couldn't care less about the tier rating. To me, it doesn't matter. Superstars are superstars. They're either good, bad, ugly, okay, etc. Yeah, I don't always laugh a lot. I don't always laugh a lot, Stuart, because I'm trying to focus, explain. Ozzy is just plain fun. Um, so I don't care what tier they are. I'm gonna play them, right? I care about how good they are. Um, that being said, Scopely is starting to do this thing where they want tiers to perform at a specific level. Raw, right? So the best example I can give you is like Bray. He's low charge, blows up the board, doesn't move the gem board. This is very like premium, right? When you see a move like this, you can tell it's designed for an S tier character. They're never going to put this on a B tier character. So I do agree with them that like what they are like in like their raw form before you strap them up, get plates, trainers and stuff, there's a big difference. This is very much so something that would only ever be on an S tier character, right? Like very common. Like to see that kind of thing on a top-notch superstar, you won't ever see that on a B superstar, right? That doesn't, but there are plenty of B superstars that can outperform Bray. Just saying. So it ends up at the end of the day not mattering necessarily. That's why I don't care. But I think this is important information for people to have, even if I don't necessarily. Street Fighter would be awesome. I'd take a Street Fighter crossover. Here's another good example. Muda. When you look at his 2 purple moves, 5 MP. You only need 1 MP trainer to load them, and it loads his finisher, right? So it's just click, click, finisher, super low charge. These 5 MP charges that will load his finisher and do damage into it, that screams Muda, yeah. That screams S tier. You won't see something like this, a 5 MP move that loads a B tier's finisher. So I do agree with them to a point that the tiers are better. This is with quotation marks, right? But at the end of the day, how they end up performing has way more to do with what's available completely in the game to set them up. Does that make sense? So like there are plenty of B tier characters, and we're going to see one today in Kairi, who will hit harder than most S tiers when she's set up properly. Now, Kairi is actually a pretty rare exception to the B tier rule. If you look, she has tons of 6 MP charge moves. In particular, the 3 green ones are all 6 MP. That's pretty rare in and of itself. If you look at Shotzi, who's another B tier who can hit super hard, she's got some 7s mixed in, right? With like, this is 6, but the choose is 7. But 6 MP charge is what I consider like a good charge. 5 MP is like ridiculous, more reserved for like top notch or loader moves, right? Yeah, Chris, I think so too. So anyway, what basically, this is ballpark, like approximate numbers. It's not hard numbers, but like basically expect like the A tier superstars. Exactly, restate. Exactly. Expect like the A tier superstars to hit in the 20 million-ish range before adding like nice stuff. So like Tiffy kind of fits in that category, and then hitting more into the upwards of 60s at gold with really good stuff. And obviously they're saying like S tier starting cap will have a higher starting point in the raw without stuff. That doesn't mean they're going to scale better, especially to me, right? So, but like basically what they're saying is in the raw, A tier superstars are very rarely, if at all, going to look a certain way. That being said, Ozzy just came out, and you know, my man Ozzy can hit very hard, and he's got low charge, really low charge moves. So obviously that won't always hold true, but you can basically expect that sort of thing. So yeah, Zombie Dom is a beast. Arguably still the hardest hitting tech in the game. It's just he's got a downside, you know? Right? Like in the case of most techs, to be honest though, they have a downside. There are very few perfect techs in the game, or what I would consider perfect. We're gonna get into Kairi now, Ethan. So you're gonna see a bunch of different ways to run Kairi here today. Okay. Tech Rock was a beast at silver. I think he's kind of mid at gold, personally. She is, but she's also good without an LA plate, too. Hmm. You lost me at sub. You lost me at sub. Way too much goes wrong with subs, so you can't reliably feud with sub builds. You will end up having issues. So just, if you don't know me that well, Tito, I don't care what a wrestler looks like. I care what they can do in the ring and on the mic, so That has nothing to do with anything for me. Probably why I disliked so much of the Attitude Era, though. Okay, so this moment for Kairi is literally free. The only reason not to have it is because you haven't worked for it yet. But it's literally free. So I am going to assume everyone has or can have this moment when we're talking about Kairi. Today is just Kairi. I doubt I'll get time for Sonya with what I got going on today, Steward. But if I do, I would be happy to because I like Sonya as well. So, but I doubt I will get time. Just I have a lot planned today, and I don't think any of it's going to be super fast. But I do think it'll be useful information for people, and I think it'll help them make decisions in the game, which is why I want to do it. I'm going to stick this right here. And I'm going to end up recording this and putting it on the YouTubes, so you guys can all be on the YouTubies. You play Showdown. It doesn't cost you money to play Showdown. You get Showdown currency, which you can then buy for free in the Showdown store. So to me, free is you can get it without paying money. Not Scopely says here, have it. I guess I should have clarified what I mean by free. And if, by the way, there's plenty of great people that can hit hard, like Tech Rock, like Becky with a sub. If you want to use them, that's quite all right. I have no issue with that. But they are not even kind of meta for feud. So, don't think I'm saying anything bad. It's just not what I consider, like, good. Too much can go wrong, especially with the sub, for me. Like, that's even worse than cascading for me. They're very good. They're very useful. I have at times done it. So. Use subs. But it's not ideal. That's how I look at subs. Everything is dependent. Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. Everything is dependent on your roster, though. So everyone's going to have a different level of good on their roster. But I'm going off of generally what's available in the game, if that makes sense. That's not true. Sub, there's plenty of issues. They break too many of your sub gems. They have a matchy-match plate. It doesn't have to just be an escape artist. There are more and more instant sub break characters as we go. Ozzy's free and has one. Like, there's been just a run of anti-sub ones. So, yeah. There are tons of good builds for Kairi. She doesn't need necessarily super great stuff, and that's why I'm gonna play her today. I'm gonna start small and build big. So there'll be stuff for everybody with Kairi. That's the point. That is the point. And I'll play a couple first, so I am very aware how Tech Rock works and subs work. You are relying on it to drop their MP, but if they have a matchy-match plate, you don't drop their MP. That happens all the time. Literally all the time. There are tons of people, for some reason unbeknownst to me, running matchy-match plates on people where they don't need it. It does nothing for them. But whatever. You can look at those and you can avoid them. But if you're looking at stuff in feud, it makes you way slower. Yeah, Kairi's ridiculously good. I've said that since the beginning, man. Like, literally. As long as I can remember, she's been super good. She's 6-star silver on my roster. We'll go gold before, like, probably go gold at some point. I already have really strong ladies, but she's a super good option for focus boss battle, too. Because she recycles really easily. So this is kind of like sort of bottom of the barrel Kairi, if you want to call it that. Like, now, here's the thing, though. We have the moment, so if you have the moment, your multiply gems in feud are 4 times stronger, and your blue gems are 50% stronger. Oh yeah, Kairi's way better than Z-Becky, dude. Not even close. Watch by the end of this. With optimal setups. With optimal setups. Dakota's best build is by far with a drip plate. By far with the drip plate. And if you're using the drip plate, you do not want to buff trap gems on Dakota. You want to buff black gems because the multiplies are only on black gems. The multiplies are not on trap gems. So if you're running Dakota with a drip plate, do not use any trap trainers. Use all black gem trainers. Now, if you're running Dakota with like the Brutus or the Barber plate, then you would want to run with the other ones. So, and if you don't think Kairi's better, wait till the end of this. And I'm talking about top-end ability with plates available in the game. So I'm not going to use a Ghostbuster plate or a drip plate. Those are not available anymore, so I don't count those. But Kairi's top end is much higher than Zombie Becky's. More consistent, safer, and like by safer I mean 0 risk, right? And everything, like the moment is free, so if you have the other stuff, you'll definitely have the moment. Basically what I'm saying is, this would be your build, like bottom of the barrel build. You don't have 17k Santa. If you don't have Gunther, okay, you can switch stuff out. Any 2 MP personal work, I just grabbed the first one. The move damage is marginal. We don't really care about this at gold. Again, later you'll understand why better. So Aussie is free. So again, there'll be no reason not to have a 30% Aussie at some point. And Gunther, more available, but he's the hardest trainer here for sure. And basically, this would be using a 0% strap. This we don't want. That's just on here. We'd be using a 0% strap to get the damage we're doing in feud, because we have the 50% boost. So this essentially is with a 0% strap. Now, to make up for the 4 times multiply, I am going to swipe once. So instead of Bailey, we are going to use Sherry. And that's what you would hit for in feud with a 0% strap and this build. So I'm going to put this build up on the screen, but I will set it up so you can see what it would hit in feud. Okay? Is that fair? Yes, no, maybe so? Do people hate this? Do they like it? But that'll be a 0% strap in feud, and it would be with the equivalent of what you're seeing on the screen. The whole idea here is to get this set up so that people know what they'll hit. Derek. It'll be the same in feud as using Bailey. Sherry is going on there to simulate the moment because it's a feud moment. So this would be the damage you would do in feud with Bailey on. Does that make sense? Not with Sherry. With Sherry on, she would make even bigger multiply gems. Hi, Big Flecky. Sometimes, I'm taking a screenshot, by the way, to put it on the screen so that people know the trainers that are actually on. Well, just wait, Tito. Wait, because it depends what you have. Every answer of who to take up is not It's not Kairi over Becky, right? If you like sub gameplay and you like playing Zombie Becky, first off, take her up. Second, if you don't have the stuff needed for Kairi, Becky's better if you don't have the stuff needed. But so just watch and see before you decide. Don't ever take my word on something, literally, or anybody's word. You should always, Flecky, yes, I can't help it. You should always want to see the proof, and on top of it, it needs to work for you, right? The great example for me is the last time I ever took something on somebody's word was freaking Striker Anvil at the top of all tier lists back in the day, and he was random AF, and I'm sorry, Striker Anvil sucked balls. Okay? Whoever did that tier list, you probably created Mherex, by the way. That was the last time I ever took anyone's advice. Pissed me off. He was so freaking crappy. So from that point on, I started thinking for myself and researching as much as I could. I probably went a little overboard. But yeah, don't take my word for it. And if somebody doesn't show you their trainers and perks, literally do not believe them and their strap. Like, you need to see the proof. If you don't know that they, like, I can't tell you how many times I see high damage stuff. Some people will ask me and I'll debunk it for them. This won't work. This won't work in feud. It won't be charged with this. This won't be charged. That's 130% gem damage strap. You can see right there from the damage total. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you should question everything unless you try it for yourself, see it for yourself, or know it for yourself. Literally. Right? And it's super easy to cherry pick a build. Like, when everything goes perfectly. So, Showboat Naka, I actually tried 100% strap, Nightmare Plate, and Jade Ultimate Plate, Jade Cargill Ultimate Plate. Hits for about 47 million on average, techs. So very, very close, with 2 clicks. Very, very close. We'll lose some, we'll win some. If you stuck to just strikers, you would probably never lose. And it would be 2 clicks. He's 8 MP, so it requires 3 MP trainers. Yeah, Professor, it's just the best if you try to do that. Generally, in my opinion, it's okay if you don't, right? And I'm not saying this is the only way to make content, but if you're planning on using somebody in feud, no, Hall of Fame China is not good. She is random, and you would need a drip plate, and she still isn't good even with a drip plate at gold because she's so random. So, very few people are worth going straight to gold without a lot of stuff also, by the way. And, like, it also depends on what you have on your roster. So just because I say somebody's not good, to me, doesn't mean they're not good to them. And if they're fun, and you like Hall of Fame China, and you're a China mark, and you want to put a drip plate on her, it doesn't really matter what I say. Go have fun. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Very few old cards, posters, sorry, don't find me, Furpo, are good. Period. Very, very few. It's the shelf life in this game is incredibly short. Like, super duper incredibly short. Yeah. What if you can get like a year out of someone as a top level character? That's pretty insane. And I don't know many people that go like forever. So Zombie Dom is great at what he does. No question. He will be probably, much like KO, hit hard forever. He is not perfect though, because if you get pinned, you hit for 0 damage. And you don't recycle. Regal also will probably be good forever. Unless they, I don't know, they'd have to do some kind of multiply nerfing perks or MP down perks. I don't even know how they'd nerf Regal with the Piper plate. I don't even know if it's possible to nerf him like too much. But he isn't as fast as some other showboats. So while he can hit the hardest, to me he's not the best showboat. He's great, He can hit harder than any of them. His damage is OP AF. He's Cascade proof. He's Mherex proof. But I like at least 3 showboats more than Regal. Right? It doesn't make it me right, but that's my like criteria. Do they hit hard enough? And then it's how fast and safe they are. He makes all 3 of the criteria, by the way. So I think he's one of the best showboats in the game. There's basically 5 showboats that I say, maybe 6, if you have the right stuff. You don't really need to care about any other showboats unless you have an affiliation strap. And then 2 ladies. So we're gonna start off with no plates. All right, and Sherry's going on to simulate the moment. She isn't actually on. Yeah, no, not Road Dog. The 5 would be Regal, Hall of Fame Ray with a Piper plate, Rex Regum with a Piper plate, Vader, you can see that build I just did on a top build, Bulldog Bracer, and then Seth freaking Rollins. This is going to be no plates to start, Stewart. All of them are capable of destroying people on turn 1, and being Cascade proof. And then the other one would be Tusos with gear. He's 2 clicks with a 3-match Cascade chance, and he hits super hard. He's actually the fastest showboat, if you have his gear. Okay, so what you're seeing is actually Bailey, not Sherry, but it's simulating the feud perks. This is, so also, and the strap would be a 0% strap. We do have a class advantage, so this would basically be the equivalent of a 20% strap. I will show you the unsafe way, because you probably have to run it the unsafe way until you put plates on. We might have to go against someone other than Jade, though, because I forgot she started with the sub. And we're not starting loaded because I want to show the moment. So we're probably going to have to go against someone not named Jade, or it'll take too long. But it won't matter. This is just to show the damage, so let me just quit out of here. Nobody's actually a problem in the game if you go, because you go first on offense. So I don't think there's a single problem poster in the game for me, to be honest. Like, there's nobody I'm like, oh crap, they're in their feud roster. And then Showdown, it's 99 MP, so I really don't care. You know, as long as I have one of them, and even then it doesn't matter, I have the loaders. The Showdown loaders. If it's male, there's not a card you can use. Yes, I love Showboat Waller. He's one of the best boss battle in the game. One of the best boss battle cards in the game consistently. Waller is amazing for boss battle. And he's solid for a lot of people as a fighter. I'm just going to go against Nikki just because all I care about is showing the damage this one does. So we're just going to go against Nikki. Also, no class advantage here. I'm also... The other thing with me, guys, is I'm very, like, no-nonsense blunt about the game, right? So, like, please don't let me or my thoughts affect you if you like somebody. I can't explain to you how often I tell this to people. The way my brain works, if it's not efficient in this game, I really don't care. So I'm trying to do everything as efficiently as possible. Okay, so this is what you do with Kairi. Hold on. Make sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Just if you don't have straps. This is with a 0% strap with the moment, Brother Ray. It would be this loadout, no plates, and the moment with a 0% strap. So it could be any strap. It could be stun defense, you know, anti-stun, skip turn, defensive. This would be with a no strap. With the moment in feud. Put your first set of multiplies on the bottom. Then row break the top. So, with a 0% strap and no plates, with the moment, in feud, no Santa Hogan, with the entourage you're looking at, it's 45 million damage with a cascade risk. But that's pretty impressive for a B character superstar with nothing on it. Literally, that would be nothing on it except Fury 2s. She's very, very good with very little. It's going to go up from here, though, a lot. Does anyone have any questions about that part of it? Because I'm going to rerun that, and then I'm going to record it, and then go bigger. Chic. It's not the worst because it's the top row. It's the can you not see? Maybe you're on mobile. It's on the top of my screen. It's the feud moment that you get for free in the Showdown store. You have to buy 10 pieces. The evolution moment. 50% blue gem damage. And multiply gems, strength increased by 4. Ethan, what's your question? I don't understand. So, here, 1 second. I'll play it again, and I'll... I think I understand what you're asking. So, this makes the middle row into snowfall gems that turn blue. It then turns 4 random ones into pyro gems. So you keep 2 snowfall and 4 pyro. This goes to 4 at gold. Oh. I think that's only 3 at silver, right, guys? Can someone confirm, is that only 3 at silver? Wait, I have my other account open. I can confirm. Kairi. No, it's 4 on that one too. Okay, never mind. Yep, never mind. Alright. Alright, so swipe. This does have cascade risk, of course. It does have cascade risk. So this is what you'd be looking at in feud. This is going to put the middle row out and then change them at the same time. It's a combo move. So this, we technically really lucked out because they're all in the same spot, but so this is like perfect board, actually. You got to go on the bottom so you don't hit multiplies. So your first set has to go on the bottom so you have a better chance not to cascade on the top. Then your second set is going to go above the pyros. And then you just break the middle row with this one. If you don't like your spread, you could always hit this again and it randomly comes up different. Hey, Michael Graham, I'm doing great. How are you? Hey, Baby Ice. That's 57 million with the moment, a 0% strap, and no plates. The moment is free. The hardest trainer in this equation is Zombie Gunther. So, like, literally, that's a B tier superstar capable of 57 million damage turn 1, and feud would be higher because you have line bonuses and that and perks and stuff, right? So when I say Kairi is super duper good, I mean it. As you get better stuff, you don't need to be risky, right? You can eliminate the risk completely, And that's where hitting harder to me doesn't matter. I'll hit less hard to not have risk. So if you... Bailey's not adding any real damage, Baby Ice, because she's not actually on there because we're simulating the moment. She's only there for MP. Because we're simulating the moment, so she's not even on. I mean, with Gunther, who do you want me to use? Seamus, it's not going to be that much different. A little bit, but not that much. Ideally, you'd have a 30% blue person. Ideally, if you don't have a 30% blue, then 20% is probably about the same. If you don't know how to know, look right here. So let's put on 20% of blue. There's multiples. And blue gems are 101k, and then let's find Seamus. And see if Seamus is higher. But the game will literally tell you what's better on your trainers if you just look at the right screen. So we're at 101.92. Yeah, Seamus is worse at gold than even the 20%ers. So you could use China. Thanks, wait, I'm doing well. You could use Snoop. Any blue 20%er you have is going to be better than Seamus. Alpha is going to be slightly worse than Seamus. So, yeah, you can... 30%er is obviously better, but this is close enough. You want to see it with a 20%er. And keep in mind, that was a perfect one, where we got all the multiplies. The one before was 47 million, when we didn't get all the multiplies. It would also be loaded turn 1 in feud. This is simply so I can simulate the moment, if you're just getting here. Waits, did I answer you? I'm doing great. How are you? I can't... sometimes I don't remember if I thought about it or I said it, so... So this is not perfect, but it's not bad. You know, the pyros are there, the snowfalls are here. Whatever. We got to go on the bottom row the first time. So whatever I pick is wrong if I change it. Or China. Hall of Fame China is also 20% microgram. And this is only slightly better. It's all the same. So here's where you can decide... Do I want to gamble? I have 3 guaranteed rows here. I have 2 here. I'm getting 5 of 7. Probably not going to do worse than 5 of 7, so let's just hit it again. It's extra damage. Yes. And I told you I would pick wrong no matter what I did. Those are all those are above it, so yeah. That's literally almost impossible to do. That's why I normally don't do it. That's like as poorly as, like, yeah, I can't believe I managed that. That's kind of amazing. I don't normally do that. I just run with what I have in case that happens. So this is going to be a very weak hit. Obviously, super weak hit. Because we missed everything. So I wouldn't personally gamble if you can get 5 of 7 columns. If you can get 5 of the 7, you're good. Yep. Snowfalls are down. Pyros are up. But the first time through, you have to put your gems on the bottom. Does that make sense? So first time through, they have to go on the bottom. But you can see where they line up. I could have there, south side, yes. See, they're just like taunting me. They're freaking taunting me, right? Oh, that's annoying. And it's like, no matter what I do, it's the wrong choice. Which is why I generally play it the safe way. I mean, that ended up okay. I can live with that. This is pretty standard. 5 of 7 is standard, usually. $44 mil. Yeah, her mechanic is really cool. To be honest, it's a really nifty mechanic. It's one of the cooler... I like combo moves a lot. It's one of the cooler combo moves, in my opinion. It's really neat. Okay, so everybody that's here, you basically understand what she's doing now, so now we can start putting better stuff on and record the video. Yes? Yes? If not, feel free to ask. I will do my best to explain. So the first time... Yes, Ethan. Yes, but the first time, if you're trying to do 2 stacks of the multiplies, like we are here, you have to, wait. After this, I will, happily, to you. After we do this. Then I can get into straps a little bit. So don't go anywhere, and after we finish with Kairi, I can go into titles, because it'll be a nice segue into understanding gem damage at a high level. Yeah, but Ethan, the first time, they have to go somewhere on the bottom, so we can get the second set out. Okay? But yes, you want the multiplies below the snowfalls and above the pyros. Snowfalls fall down, pyros go up. I just remember by snowfall, falls down. That's how I remember it, and pyros are opposite. Okay. I'm going to do the intro, record. You guys' chat will be on the YouTube video. It's going to take a little while to set up. You can ask questions. I might ignore them during. I might answer them depending. So I don't get... Exactly, Scon. So I don't get too distracted. But I will answer them at the end. Just re-ask them. Okay? Because I love the commentary. It's very helpful. In general, it makes the stream fun. Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be my top build for Kairi Sane, and there's going to be a progression here. It's going to start out with the bare minimum, basically, and then work up from there. Also, if you don't know, the evolution moment is available on the Showdown store. All you have to do is play Showdown, buy 10 of the tokens, you get the moment. So I'm going to assume everyone has this, because if you play the game and work towards it, you will get it. And if you're going to play Kairi, you should get it. So this is a feud build for Kairi. And the feud, we're going to simulate the moment. So what I'm going to do is show you the setup on the screen that this would be mimicking in feud. But in reality, I will have different trainers on to equal the difference. This is going to get harder to do as we go, because their best build I won't be able to show as it would be in feud. But this is to show people how hard she can hit with regular trainers in feud. So the big important things are blue gems do 50% more damage. Multiply gems are 4 times bigger. The best moveset for her, in my opinion, is triple green. It can be ran without awesome stuff, and can be crazy with awesome stuff. There's risk at first, and then no risk later. So the first moveset you're going to see is me running her with a 0% strap and the moment, because this is 50% gem. That's the strap we're using to simulate the blue gem damage do 50%, okay? So this would be if you had an anti-stun, skip turn, defensive, whatever, and then Fury 2s. The entourage that we're going to actually run is going to be Gunther, Ozzy, and Bailey, right? Because that starts you loaded turn 1 in feud. Instead of Bailey, though, I'm going to have multiply gems of strength 4. If you don't have Bailey, no big deal. Just run any 2 green MP trainer you have right here. If you don't have Gunther, no big deal. Use Seamus or any 20%er. Everyone will have Ozzy work his way up to the 30% blue gem damage. Okay, so the moment in feud actually makes your multiply gems times 10. So we're going to run the triple green, sliding D, 155k damage, make the middle row into Snowfall blue gems. It's a combo move. Then deal 155k damage and make 4 random Snowfall gems into Pyro blue gems. That means the Snowfall gems make blue gems below it, the Pyro gems make blue gems above it. Flying Forearm Smash. This is also 6 MP, 309k damage, and choose a 4x3 area to make into Multiply Gems of Strength 10. Also, keep in mind, Multiply Gems, we're going to talk more about that later if you're on the stream. Tokyo Slam, deal 213k damage and choose a 7x1 area to swap into green gems. This sets everything off and recycles it. I don't know how expensive each moment token is. Check your Showdown store. Right off the top of my head, I don't know. Someone in chat might. Okay, so we're not going to be loaded turn 1 here. However, in Feud, this would actually be loaded. This is to simulate the moment with the trainers you see on the screen. So I'm just going to swipe. It doesn't matter what. All right. So what you do is you place this middle. You don't place it. You hit the sliding D. The middle row turns into Snowfalls and then makes 4 of them into Pyros. Like so. These are going to go down. These are going to go up. Now, you have to put the Multiply Gems on the bottom row. Anywhere on the bottom. This side currently looks much better. We get 3 of them. Because this move has to go on the top if we want to avoid cascading. Let's see if I can not cascade. That is the risk at the start. She has cascade risk. However, she does refill her moves, so it's not the end of the world. But she will have cascade risk to do it this way. Coming up, you will see her with 0 cascade risk. So again, middle column. Sorry, middle row. Pyro gems above it here. This is what I would call a perfect board. This is the hardest you can hit with Kairi, is this setup. Of course, if I cascade it all again, which I'm going to, because I'm doing a video, it won't work. Hey, it worked. Okay. So because of the distribution of the gems, we don't want to hit the middle thing again, because this is perfect. So this is what you would hit turn 1 if you don't cascade with Kairi at gold with the bare minimum setup and the moment. That's 56 million. Now, as she gets nicer stuff, she hits way harder and becomes completely safe. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of climb the ladder. Okay? So you can add... I'm going to go ahead, because we have the moment, I'm going to put 100% strap on her. It's going to be the equivalent of a 50% strap. In fact, you know what? I'm going to actually put a 130, because it's going to be the equivalent of an 80% strap. And that's the biggest we're going to be able to get. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And this would be the equivalent of an 80% strap. Not 100. 100 would still be better. Normally I would never use a 130, but we're simulating the moment, so why not? Go. So this will be an 80% strap, and we're going to put 1 plate on. But not change the trainers, still. What am I doing? I'm setting the strap up. Huh. Is this Fury 2? No. Okay. So if you're keeping track at home, this is an 80% increase in gem damage. So same build with an 80% gem damage increase. Doesn't matter how you would get said gem increase, whether it was through plates or anything. Trainers, this would be the difference. So we had, with a perfect board, we hit 56 million. I'm actually not going to put a plate on here. Just lets me run her more, which I want to do anyway. Why did I put an armor metal on because I'm trying to mess this video up. That's why. Move damage doesn't matter. We don't care about it. We don't. This is the move damage is going to be marginal. Couldn't care less about it. So same trainer setup, but increasing the gem damage 80%. Simulating the moment again. Let's get rid of the green. Okay. That's not terrible. I can live with that. I should have done this the first time for you guys. The multiplies are 2.86 million each. Because we didn't get a perfect one, it hit less than the other one, because the other one was perfect. But still 50 million with no plates. Remember the damage that was on the multiply, because that's where you actually see the difference. And the variance is about that. 5 is the low end, usually, unless you do something really dumb, which I may do at some point just to show you. So, okay, what if you have a plate? Let's put a small plate on first. Flaming, Pyro Princess Flaming Glove. When you make 6 or more multiply gems, increase your blue gem damage 50% for 2 turns. In this case, we are hitting the multiply move twice, so it actually adds up being 100% more gem damage. Again, we still don't have any crazy trainers on, still kind of more bare bones trainers. This gets really good when you start adding Sherry into the mix. And this one... You know what, I'm just going to gamble this time. So we're going to do this. Because I want to. Because I'm going to cascade anyway. I have that feeling. I didn't. Alright. So, if you don't like the placement... You just hit this move again, and give yourself another chance. And swing in a bit of a miss, you could say. And there's no blue gems to compare yet. Yeah, me too, Southside. That was a bit of a swing and a miss. This only gets us 2 pyros. This only gets us 2, so we kind of have to put it here. Blue gems, though, now are 3.5 million. And as we go, she's just going to get safer. That's 58 million with less than ideal. Okay. Now we're going to switch the trainers. So this is going to go away. Because we're switching the trainers up. And we're going to see if you can play it safe with just this plate. So the trainers, if you have them, you can run it this way. And she's loaded turn 1 in feud. No, with Cascade Chance, she doesn't need a plate for her to be good, if you're willing to have risk. If you want to have 0 risk, she needs a plate, and we'll get into that. So this is super hard to simulate, right? Because with Sherry, our multiply gems would be times 14. I can't quite get there, but I'm going to try to get a little bit closer. So what we're going to do is we're going to run Matt here. And that's 2 times. And then we're going to run Memrock here, and that's 3 times. We're obviously losing some gem damage. So she will hit much harder than this, but this would be 80% strap and basically ×3 on the moment instead of ×4. So it gets you a little bit closer. If I have a prop, I'll use the prop so you can see. But this would be turn 1 in feud, and this is simulating the moment with an 80% strap and the Pyro Princess plate. Green match was too much to ask for. It's okay. You know what? Let's just get it loaded the old-fashioned way. Okay. This is Cascade City, because but I'm not going to worry about that. So this would be, if you're trying, can you do it safely this way with just this setup? Probably not, but let's see. So this would be turn 1, and we're not going to cycle the moves, right? We're just going to go 1 and done. See how the multiplies lay out? Pretty bad. Pretty poorly, to be honest. So this is not ideal at all. They're 3.9 million, though. And you can see that's 0 risk, 47 million. And in feud, that would be 0 risk, about probably 52 million with the Pyro plate. But there's more. There's 2 other plate choices that make it even crazier with 0 risk. The next one we're going to try is the Piper plate. That adds 100% more gem damage when you make 4 or more Pyros, which we will. Yep, that's the final one, restate. Again, we're simulating the moment. This would be turn 1 in feud. But wait, there's more. If you call in the next 5 minutes... And let's see, we got... Is that like a perfectly not gonna get... No, we can get 3 snowfalls. 1, 2... No, we can't. So, if it gives you lemons... Exactly, slap chop, sap daddy. 2... Only I can manage to get 2 everywhere. Like the odds of that are slim to none, but I can do it fairly often. So you have 2 choices here. You can play risky or play safe, just for fun. Let's play risky. Besides, you want to see a big number, right? Yeah, that's 6 million per multiply. Yes, Ethan. That was 109 million? For this B-tier superstar? But if you think that's good... Yes, I will take Sherry off after we do it with the LA plate. This would be the moment in feud, loaded turn 1. The trainer matters less than the plates, actually. But I will take her off too. And yeah, using a super rare trainer, because no one in this game is going to hit for 109 million without super rare trainers. Just FYI. Exactly, Ethan. There's a ton of different ways you can run her. That's more what I'm trying to show here. But the moment is clutch. Yeah, for sure, Sapper. We showed her hitting hard with nothing, so let's see what happens here. Boom. All right, I have 3 going up. That's perfect for me. It's plenty safe. 6.5 million. So again, this is only 3, and only once through. $75 million, completely safe, with only 3. It's up in the right corner, Baby Ice. The Evolution Feud moment you get in the Showdown store. So you can earn it free by playing Showdown. And I would highly recommend it. Now, if you wanted to hit that twice and just see how hard Kairi can hit at her top end with Cascade Risk, we'll do that. And then I will show you what she'd hit with the LA Knight Plate and no Sherry. In fact, we will actually go back to that super basic build. Right, Sapper? With no Santa Hogan required, with no multiply trainer at all. We're gonna go back to the super basic build. With an LA Knight Plate. Oh, mamma mia. Yeah, not gonna gamble when I have a perfect setup. So when you get the perfect layout, completely Mherex proof, turn 1, 3 clicks, 96 million. 3 clicks, 96 million when it goes perfect, with an 80% strap, yes Sherry, yes Santa, and yes the plates. Alright, let's hit 1 big. And then I'll go and run with the plates and without anyone crazy at trainer, as we say in the vernacular. I love Kairi, so personally I don't mind playing her a bunch. Take the risk or we riot. I'll keep that in mind. Probably one of the most underrated superstars in this game. No drip, Gumsy. Very few people with a perfect setup. You would have 100. This is, see, here it is again. We're taking the risk because here's a chance for another perfect board with 2 hits. Come on, Mherex, one time don't cascade. So we can show everyone perfect Kairi. Here it is. She won't be underrated anymore. Wait. The thing is, though, just wait. We can hit this again. So right now, there's 7 million each. But watch what happens when we hit this again. Now they're 9.6 million each. $170 mil. And that wasn't perfect. So, long story short, Kairi is kind of amazing top end. Her top end is a B tier, is some of the best top end in the entire game. That's LA Knight Plate and the Pyro Princess Glove. Gumsy. LA Knight Plate does, whenever you make 4 more Pyro Gems, increase your blue gem damage by 300%. Now, if you want to see what she would hit back with basic trainers in just a moment, no Santa, no Sherry, we'll go back to that. So in case you ever see the LA Knight Plate on her, or on the prize wall, and you hear Mherex saying, make sure you get this plate if it's obtainable for you, this will be why. We're going to do two, one with no risk and one with risk. Again, it would be loaded in feud. This is to show the moment. This is the risk it one. She's the best choice for the LA Knight plate by far. Yeah, feud and boss battle are interchangeable, Michael Graham. Absolutely. Boy, that never works out quite right. Only one snowfall's gonna hit there. So I guess we're just gonna go top and top. Still 7.6 million per multiply. Not a perfect board, but this is with no Sherry, no Santa, bare bones trainers. No, Acro 123 million. Acro Shelton's actually a really bad choice for the plate. If you want to click a million times in feud, and the videos you've seen are not feud setups with Acro Shelton hitting that hard. You want to click a million times and not hit that hard, because you need matchy-match trainers and stuff for Shelton to do that. Tour Shelton is much better than feud Shelton. Okay, now let's try one without the risk. And just see what we get plain straight up. Again, this is with no crazy trainers, but the moment in feud. Boss battle, though, Michael Graham, she won't have the moment, so she won't hit quite as hard. But obviously, in boss battle, you don't worry about cascading, right? So that's pretty great. All right, this is 3. Pretty standard 3-click with no one crazy in the moment. $64 million 3 clicks. All right, so everybody, that's my top build for Kairi. Ran a ton of different ways with a ton of different plates with different ways to win. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, thanks for watching and good luck. Ooh, I love me some Kairi. Yeet! Okay. Questions, comments. Did you guys like that? Was that helpful? There's a lot of different ways you can run her, starting with not very much, all the way up to crazy stuff. She's super underrated. I tried to do a good job, Stuart, of interacting with you guys while recording, because I don't like missing chat. Best choice for Pyro, what do you mean by that, Zandel? I'll try and answer specifically what you mean. Okay, whoever asked about straps, are you still here? And then we're going to get into really trying to understand how gem damage at gold functions, so you can understand which plates are automatically not good on people. You should, at the end of me explaining it, automatically know by looking at somebody if they'll be good at gold or not. If I do it right, which I probably won't. Out of the LA Knight plate, Zandel, yeah, no one will get more out. Is there math involved? Not really, Spider Guard. I can simplify it broadly, so it's easy to understand. That's going to be the goal. It is a quick transition to HBK. Incidentally, Southside, I made an HBK top build video that's less risky than a lot of them that I'm going to post probably tomorrow. Geez, Sapper. Calm down, bro. Is Waits not here? It looks like you were able to tag him. But while he's talking, or seeing if he's here, we can segue. And people that watched my stream yesterday saw some of this. I'm going to go a little more in depth today. The opponent doesn't matter that we're going to go against. Question, guys. Do you know, broadly, there are very few exceptions to this statement, though? And the answer. What do characters need to be good at gold? What do they need? Do people know the answer to this? If you were on yesterday's stream, you can cheat, since you have the cliff notes. Specifically, the win. Stuff. Multis and buff. Multis and buff. Multis and buff. I see it again. Correct. The answer is multi and buff. Not just gem damage, which I'll show you here. It can be multis or buff, or preferably both, when it's applicable. And this is, I'll show you a great example here, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to take somebody that turns the whole board a specific color. We're going to use EO Sky because she's an acro, and this is really going to fit the narrative. Drip plates. So we're going to put this 100% strap on EO here that we were just using. Actually, it's a 130. We're going to put 100 on EO. None of the straps and stuff matter, so don't get like... No, this is not about who's good. This is not about who's good. EO's okay at gold, actually, but that's not what this is about. The character I'm using doesn't matter. I'm choosing EO for a very specific reason, and then we're going to switch to Tiffany. But I'm choosing EO because she turns the whole board, her primary color, turn 1, very easily blue. Okay? It doesn't really matter who I'm using, but this is just to show you what actual gem damage does at gold, so you have a baseline. You'll understand more in a minute. I also recorded a My Top build for EO today that I was going to post before stream and forgot. So I'm actually going to post that right now so I don't forget. And you will be able to see how I would run EO all you want. Tomorrow morning will be HBK. Let me just make sure the sound is good real quick. That's a commercial. Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you... Hey, I know that guy. This is gonna be perfect. Sound seems good. Okay, I'll just post that now so I don't forget. Unlisted, public, done, save, you're free. It'll be free, EO. A ton of people were asking for this one. I hope this information on the gem damage really helps you guys out. I think it will, to be honest. Yesterday's stream, a lot of people seem to be liking what I was talking about, or the idea, I guess. The ideas, and it seemed to be helping them out. So I'm hoping it's kind of universally helpful. And I'm going to do it a little bit better today on a gold card. Poster, sorry. I'm on the Champs channel. Don't find me for both. And this is another really good time to talk about what we've been told as content creators and we're allowed to share. So you guys just saw me hit crazy hard with Kairi. Everybody knows I do not care if it's a B tier character. They're all the same to me. To me, tiers do not matter in any way, shape, or form other than shard conversion. I'm always going to judge them the same. I'm always going to expect them to be playable. There's no reason to make one that's not playable, in my opinion. They don't need to be OP'd. They don't need to be the best. But there's literally no reason to make a bad superstar, in my opinion. That's how I look at it, right? So we've been told that A superstars, you can expect to hit like 20 to 30 million at gold without really good stuff like plates, moments, etc. And then they can go up to 60 million with them. As we saw with Kairi, that's not the case. Like, they can go way higher, right? Shotzi can go way higher. So that's just like a broad general thing. It doesn't mean it's a for sure thing, right? And then S tier posters hit in the like 60 million range, and then scale up from there with nicer stuff, which we tend to see, right, in general. So I get that they think that. I don't really care why they do. But again, as I said earlier, you can see the difference in an S tier superstar like Bray, who's got a 6 MP move that makes 49 gems and doesn't move the pin bar, right? You can clearly tell that's an S tier superstar. They wouldn't put that on a B. However, there's plenty of Bs that hit harder than S's. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be playing Tiffy time for this gem damage scenario too, Vikes, because it really will help people understand why certain plates aren't good. For example, how many people in here have asked about the nearing end plate, if it's good, if they should get it, who would be good on? Yeah, Zandel. Because he hit for 107 million bare bones, which is too hard. If he hit for 107 million with all the stuff, that would have been fine. Has anyone been curious about the nearing end plate? The immobile gems increase their strength 350% gem damage, for example. 350% gem damage sounds like a lot, right? Especially in a gem damage meta on gem damage characters. That sounds like a lot, yes? No? Maybe? It is a lot, and it isn't at the same time, which we'll kind of get into. So anyway, this is EO. Again, the stuff doesn't matter. It's 100% strap. This is the important part. Cowboy Bob is one of the two best people that it's good on, Bikes, if you have his Ali moment. The only reason we're doing this is because she makes 49 blue gems, okay? That's the whole idea here. Don't care about anything else. What's up, Concrete Man? And I'm also just going to use 1 MP trainer because we're going to end up moving over to Tiffany. So there's a couple things that I'm going to tell you guys and then I'll record, but try and answer some questions before I start recording so you guys have an idea of where I'm going, okay? And Tiffany and her plate is uniquely suited to show... No, this has nothing to do with plates, Brother Ray. I'm not playing EO, I'm not playing Tiffany to show you EO or Tiffany. I'm playing them because Tiffany has a unique ability to show you how little difference 250% gem damage, 500% gem damage, and 750% gem damage mean without multiplies or buffs. This literally gives me the avenue to show players very clearly so they can probably understand, because this goes way over most people's head, and I get sometimes frustrated trying to explain it, why somebody's good or isn't good, because it's really obvious to me, but it's not really obvious to everyone. And hopefully this will help make it at least somewhat obvious to people so you guys can make really good choices. Look at the leaderboard, Gumsy. Leaderboard gives you points for the midweek prize wall. A lot of points. So if you can finish anywhere in the top 100, for example, you're going to get closer to those really good moments and stuff. The whole point is the midweek prize wall, actually. All right, so now I'm going to keep things universal between Tiffy and EO for this. They're both acros. So we're going to go with percentage trainers on acros, and I'll show you guys everything. I guess, how do I say this? Do you guys know how gem damage percent works, actually? How many people know how it works? Or think they know how it works? There's no wrong answer. Don't feel stupid if you don't. If you're wrong, don't feel stupid. So I guess the best place to start is you go to info. Yes, Sapper. See how her base blue gem damage? This is called your base damage. Is 67,949. This is your base. After your base, you total up, as in add, all of your percentage buffs. So this is 30% blue. This is 30% blue. Then if you go to her strap, you can see we have... I'm just taking this off for right now, because it's gonna... You can see we have 215% blue. So that's 245% blue. So we have 67,949. And what I say we had 200 and what? Was it 245? Let me look. I can't remember. Freaking goldfish memory. Yeah, 245. Should, when you look here, it doesn't do it right here though. For some reason, I don't know why, because we don't go... I think this is just the 60% here on this one. I don't think this is counting the straps and metals on this page. So let me double check here. 679. 49. And I believe this just counts the trainers here. Yes, exactly right. This gives you the percentage of the trainers off of your base. So to get your actual in-game percentage, you take that trainer and then what's on your strap, add it together. So that's 245%. And then you multiply it by your base. So you add all of your boosts up and add it to your base. Right? So, or multiply it by your base. Add it up and then multiply. So 2.45, you would multiply that by 3.45 to get your actual base, which should be 234K, 424, or something like that. Approximately. Should be. Now, that's before their straps, though. So you also have to factor that in, right? I think we can get to stats on this screen, right? No? Yes? No? Here? No, we can't here. So then you also have to factor in, though, she's got gem defense. So it won't be exactly 234 because she also has, like, a percentage of gem defense. So that's where the difference comes in. Anyway, long story short, basically before their gem defense, if somebody had zero gem defense, we do 234,000 per blue gem. With her gem defense, it's 225,000, so we're not losing that much. So, at gold, primary color, blue, 225K per gem after gem defense is worked in. What is that times 49 gems? Because that's the whole board. Primary color, and there's a little bit of variance. Hall of Famers have a higher base. Some classes have a higher base, like Striker will have a higher base, but it's ballpark, right? And I told you this is ballpark to give you a better idea. So 225,000 times 49 gems. That's 11 million. To me, ideal is about 60 million or higher, right? So you basically need to blow up the board 5.5 times with your primary gem color. That's 300 gems. Ish. Well, 5.5, 49 times 5.5 is what? 250, 275 gems. Basically, to hit 60 million, you need to do about 250 gems. 275 gems, actually. Right? With no worth of damage. Doesn't matter how you get there, but 275 gems worth of damage to hit your big damage, right? So here, you can see we're going to do this. The gem damage should be about 11 million, depending if we cascade. But all of it's her primary color, no cascade, 12.4 million. Close enough, because there's move damage involved as well. Everybody with me so far? So roughly, with 100% strap, a couple gem trainers, you can expect a board full of gems of your primary color to hit for roughly 12 million. Just ballpark. Roughly 12 million. So 100% strap and good trainers, expect a board full of your best gems to hit for 12 million. It goes down without as good. So you basically need to blow up the board 5 times in order to do good damage, or the equivalent of 250 to 300 gems worth of damage on your primary color. Right. So if the whole board was multiply gems of strength 5, that would hit awesome. Right? Now, everything works off of the base in this game except for 2 things. Boss battle buffs is one, and buffs is the other. What do you mean, Mherex? I'm glad you asked. I'll show you. So you guys remember what Io's damage was there is 225k, right? What do you mean, Mherex? We're not changing anything, I'm just adding MP. This is only a 60% buff, right? So if it added like the rest of the stuff, instead of timesing it by 3.45, we would times it by 4.05, right? Off of her base. So that would be, we're just going to call it 67,000 times 4, right? Which would be 268,000 before gem defense per gem, if it was additive, like the other stuff. However, buffs on a character are not additive, they're multiplicative. So, what does that mean? Let's find out. Okay. You can see there's still 225k, right? Yes? Here's a 60% buff. Holy crap. It's 360k because it's multiplicative. So instead of the 268, it's actually 100k more than that because the buff is multiplicative. So, buffs, good. Multi's good. Everything else, bad. So we hit for 12 million, and let's see what it is now. $19 million. Okay. Is everybody with me so far? Buff's good because they're multiplicative. That's why if you watch my video on Tech Charlotte that I just posted, that's why she hits so hard. Multiply gem people are so good because times 13... Now you're lost? Where are you lost, Charlie? Where did I lose you? Let me help you out if I can. Where did I lose you? I will do my best to explain. You know how EO's gems were 225k before the buff? Everybody? And then she had a... No, Big Flecky. This is just so, like... I said it would be in depth. I feel like this is going to help a lot of people if they think about it a little bit. Okay. So, if your gems are 225k and the buff is multiplicative, that means you take the 225k, right? And then instead of timesing it by an additive thing, we're no longer working off of the base. Let me use better words here. So all of the stuff added up off of the base, right? That's how we got the 225. You followed me through all of that, Charlie? Through adding off of the base? Okay. So basically what happens is when you're in the match, you have a new base. That new base is the 225,000. Actually, this is the wrong way of saying it because it's not true about plates. With buffs, it's true, though. So, because buffs work multiplicative, basically it takes everything we previously added before the match, and if any plates activated, it would also take them into account as well first. So, that gem damage being 225k, if we times that by 1.6, because the buff is a 60% buff, you get 360k, which is how hard her gems hit. So basically, everything you add up and then multiply off of the base, and then you can multiply the buff. Yes, exactly. But only buffs by characters and only boss battle buffs. Plates and everything else always work off of the original buff. So to take this farther, guys, if you're wondering why Mherex can hit so hard with his tech Charlotte, because she's got full stars and max levels. Because what do full stars and max levels add on? Base gem damage, and everything starts off of the base, except for a buff. Also, because of how buffs work, even a small percentage to the base. Yeah, no problem, bud. Even a small percentage to the base makes a big difference on multiply people, because you're making so many gems, and buffs because it's multiplying off of the new base at the end. So even moving from a 50% strap to a 100% strap on a multiplier buff person is huge. Getting substats on the medals is huge, right? So like here, I'm going to switch to my account real quick and show you the substats on my Charlotte strap. And I nuked my Discord. People were being super toxic on it, and I didn't want my name attached to it, and I tried warning people multiple times. Didn't do any good. I wasn't going to babysit grown adults and let people have a toxic place to hang out. So I just closed it. Deleted it, all gone. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ducky. But that's what happened to it. So if you look at her substats on her medals, that's what I'm hunting. Green. So on top of her Fury, I have 11% green here. 6% here, that's 17 extra percent. 17 here, that's 34 extra. And 10 here, 44% extra. It's almost like having 150% strap. Almost. It's like having 145% strap because I hunted those. Yeah, G-Todd. It hurt a lot. Not everyone was toxic. There's about like, literally in this game, there's a handful of high-level players in big factions that basically make everybody miserable, right? That are just huge dicks. They fight with each other. They all have huge e-peens and egos, and they just basically wreck stuff for everybody. So you can blame them. I do. I'm not going to name names, but yeah, I blame them, so you can too. Yeah. There were some funny people, and it was okay for popcorn, but if it's your name attached to it, it's maybe not so good. Anyway, so everybody good on buffs now, and why I say buffs and multiplies are good? Spider Guard, you can still ask, but hopefully this makes it easier to understand. Sapper, Sapper, you've never been a problem a day in your life. I legitimately love you, Sapper. You are a good freaking dude, and I would welcome you in any Discord server I was in if I go back to being in them someday. I actually left every Discord server except for my faction and then the ones I need for CC. But yeah. Okay, so do you guys understand why buff people are good now? Ah, thanks, Ducky. We're not done yet, Charlie Ray. We're going to even do better for you. I'm not done. We're going to be able to understand more. But do you guys get... thanks, Sapper. And a 60% buff is good. 100% is really good. Here's another really good example, right? This is another really, really good example. And I could do this... I'm going to stick to the ladies because we're going to get even crazier. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the next one. And I'm going to go through this much quicker when I record it. But I want you guys to understand really clearly because it'll help me explain it right. So now we're going to go to Tiffy time, okay? It's okay, Painbringer. You're going to get some more chances. See how our base blue gem damage is exactly the same? Because she's a acrobat and she's full stars in max levels. Blue gem damage is the same as Eo, yes? We had 2 MP trainers on Eo. We had this strap on Eo. And we had 2 30% gem damage trainers on Eo. I will use the exact same ones, just for continuity. We used the Code Man, and we used Ozzy. Tiffy has 99 MP. So, when we look at this stat, it's exactly the same. 108.71. Shocking how that works, right? We're going to get in the match and against Nikki, and it's going to be 225k. Because every superstar is copy and paste except Hall of Fame, as far as their base damage per their class, within their class. So every acrobat is going to have the same base gem damage based on how many filled stars and levels they have. Since Tiffany's completely maxed out, since Eo is completely maxed out, they have the same. Exactly, Crazy Dina. Now, Tiffany doesn't make a whole full board full of blues. I wanted to show you a board full of blues so we had that 12k base, so you guys could have in your mind, I need to blow up the board 5 times to get to 60 million damage. That's 250 gems. So basically your goal is to get to 250 broken gems of your primary color. More if it's a secondary or tertiary color, third or fourth, right? But your goal is 250 gems if primary, 275-ish if secondary. That's kind of the goal. So Tiffany, I'll run once with no plates. And just to make sure everything is still the same, we're going against the same opponent, we should see 225. I don't even know what 4 is, Sapper. 225. Exactly the same. Everything's the same. We're going to hit these just because I don't want to have to do a cash kick out. Welcome back, Noah. Not a cash kick out, but heal, because I'm lazy. Okay, all 3 moves, still 225k. She makes 36 gems blue. And we can place this so we get 36, 37, 38, 39. So she's going to hit, what, 8 gems less at 225k? Instead of 12 million, this should hit for 10 million, barring Cascade. There's the Cascade. There's the 11 million. Everything's normal. So, when people say, nice, Sap Daddy, quaternary, quinary, centenary, septenary, octenary, nonary, wow, okay, denary, crazy. So yeah, everything is consistent. So actually, when I say gem damage is good at gold, I'm completely lying and wrong. Gem damage isn't good at gold. It's just buffs and multiplies that are good. Technically it's gem damage, but that's not really true, right? It's the buffs and the multiplies. Now, we're going to take this farther. Most skill plates add what? 50% or 100%, right? So let's go in here with this. This adds 250% every time we click a purple. We are still at 225k. Plates are not a buff, like an in-game buff. So this is additive, not multiplicative. So that 250%, while it sounds huge, only goes to 395k. If you noticed on EO, isn't that about what EO's gem damage was with just a 60% buff? So, any skill plate gem that adds 250%, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 40 gems. No, sorry. 39 gems. Again. And we hit for like 11 million with Cascade. We got 3 extra blues. We only went up 6 million damage. So, 250%. No, I'm not a teacher. Never been a teacher, although I did coach football. So maybe it comes from coaching football. I coached football for a lot of years before I moved to Oregon. So, basically, we went from 12 million gem damage to 18 million gem damage, destroying 40 gems at 250%. So, if you ask me, Mherex, nearing the end skill plate, on Cross, is it good? How many immobile gems does Cross make blue? 30? 350%, 30 gems. It's going to add about 6 million damage. In other words, it sucks. Right? It's not going to be good. Because immobiles also, there could potentially be a scenario sometime somewhere where somebody makes enough immobiles and then makes multiplies and then changes them color. But multiplies are almost impossible to have on immobiles. So I can tell you right now, there's no way that anyone makes enough immobiles with the buff to blow up the board. That was 16 million. You'd have to blow up the board 4 times. There's no one there is. So the only people it's good on are people with buffs. Hall of Fame Vader and Bradshaw. It's good on Bradshaw Noah, and it's turn 2. And it's good, not great. It's very close to being great on Hall of Fame Vader. Very close. Very, very, very close to being great on Hall of Fame Vader. If you have Hall of Fame Vader as gear in the moment, it's definitely great. It's not. It doesn't affect the immobile damage move at all. It doesn't affect bonus move damage. Furies, Fury medals, straps, plates, none of that will change the per immobile damage move. That is untouchable except for a trainer that says per immobile gem percentage. The plate won't do anything for that. Yep. Won't do anything for that. So basically, that plate is good on 2 people. What I'm getting at is this should give you the ability to understand that, oh, when I look at this plate here on what's-her-face, Tiffany, 250% really only adds 6 million gem damage for blowing up the board at gold. So 500%, i.e. when people ask me or say, what's-her-face, Powerhouse Bree, she's good at gold, Mherex. She can proc the Titan plate twice. No, she's not. Let's see what that would be. I can tell you how hard she will hit, and if she doesn't destroy her primary color. So it's even less effective than this, but if she blows up the whole board, 500% on the Titan plate twice is this thing twice, which we can do. And we're blowing up basically the whole board here. Spoiler, it's going to add 12k to the 12k it already does. You've heard that it is. If you want to rely insanely on RNG, you could do something, especially on a tour. In Feud Jabroni, not so much. I'm pretty sure Zoro or Benny did a build for you. It's not. The mobile move is just super strong, Charlie, up till bronze. So up to 6-star bronze, Cross annihilates people. So 1 buff, 395k. 2 buff, which is 500% increased gem damage to her primary color, 565k. All right, so 2 Titan buffs and then blowing up 49 gems, if it was all her primary color, would be 565k times 49. 27 million. So Powerhouse Bree on turn 1 with a Titan with 100% strap is basically gonna hit, best case scenario, probably like 25 million, and probably less because it won't all be reds, right? So if that's good to you, then yeah, it's good, but that's not good, right? 27 million at gold won't keep anyone down. So and then just to show you that that's accurate, let's hit the finisher. And we're getting 4 extra gems for 40 again. And we should hit for 24 million gem damage. There it is, 24.9 million gem damage. So, using intelligent thinking, if every 250% is adding 6 million to Tiffany, hitting it 3 times for 750% is going to be what? 30 million gem damage. So 750% is still only blowing up the board 12 million, not even 3 times. That's 750 extra percent. So again, I give to you Exhibit A. Gem damage isn't good. Buffs and multiplies are. There you go, Brother Ray. So literally, when I saw Tiffany on paper with her moves maxed out, I knew right away she wasn't going to hit hard because there's nothing to work with. You have to make an insane plate like this to get her usable. That she can hit not once, not twice, but 3 times. And this gets her to a usable level where she hits 30 million gem damage and does about 40 million total set up properly, 734k per gem. We only hit 28 something because we didn't get very many extra blues. We missed the 4 blues we've been getting. So, that's why leech gems aren't good. That's why immobile gems aren't good. That's why blast gems aren't good. Do you know the reason Powerhouse Austin hits hard? Nothing to do with the blast gems, a little bit to do with the Titan plate. Powerhouse Austin hits hard because he has a what? What does Powerhouse Austin have? Red gem buff. Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Right? Zombie Cody. If you use his buff, he hits super hard. Yep. Yeah, Spider Guard. The hard part is finding a way to break it down easily. Okay? Now, we played Kairi earlier, right, guys? And with Kairi, what were the strength of the multiply gems? 13 or 14 on the big build that hit so hard, right? Let's call it 14, 13. Each multiply gem is 13 gems. So when we're breaking like 20 of them, what's 20 gems times 13? 260 gems. On top of it, we had, when we hit really hard, we had 2 plates going that buffed gem damage more. The blue plate was 300%, and so when we hit that twice, that was a 600% boost on top of the 260 gems, and the Piper plate was another 100%. So we had 700% boosted damage into 260 gems. So primary color, we blow up the board 5+ times, and then we boosted it 700% on top of it. That's why she hit so hard. And that's why she only needs 1 cycle, because, but then we're not blowing up as many gems. We're blowing up half, let's say, 130, but she had that 400% boost and then hit for 70 million. So, best case scenario is multiply gem plus buff, but if you don't have a buff, multiply gem adding plate buff helps a ton. And let me think. So what's a really good way? Charlotte. Really good way of showing that. I think, probably. Maybe one of the better ones. But in the stuff I just showed you guys, if I could do that a little bit faster in the video I record, just with EO and Tiffany, and then going through the process, do you think people will understand that pretty well for a video? Because I think it'll help a lot of people, honestly. It doesn't, and I think I need to do a second one on multiply gems. Maybe next Tuesday we'll cover multiply gems more, because this is mostly just understanding gem damage. Very little on the buff, actually. EO does a little bit. It gets the point across that it's multiplicative instead of additive. I'm just worried I'll miss something to make it easy for people to understand, so I could use you guys as help if I miss something. They probably will Spider Guard, but like hopefully it does help. And people, because like it sucks when people spend money expecting something to be amazing, or they try and rely on me or another CC, right? And there's stuff I know that I don't know I know that's important. You know what I mean? Like I never really, in my head, I basically, this is how I think of things. I know this, so I don't understand how it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, exactly, Tommy Cass. So I don't even think it's really that important of information. And then I talk about it on my stream a little bit, and people are like, holy crap. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not as obvious as it seemed to me, so maybe I should try and explain it. Because hopefully, as you guys get better understanding, you make way better choices for yourself. Because nobody cares about your roster as much as you do, right? I mean, you care way more about your roster than I care. I do want to help you guys, but you obviously like your roster more than I like your roster. You know what I mean? Okay. I am going to try and do this. I'm relying on you guys to help. If I miss something or don't explain it well, I'll start with EO and we'll go through there. And I went through a lot, so I could very easily miss something. Yeah, Phenom Gaming, when it's male, literally those we need one of every lady too, because the only way a medium or small or new account has any shot in Showdown at all is with those Showdown characters. You know what I mean? That lets you load your guys on turn 1. Those make such a huge difference. And I try and do those videos somewhat frequently to continue to remind people that, hey, you don't need to beat your head against the wall when you have this option. But I don't always make one every showdown. Awesome, Ducky Schultz. That's the goal. I mean, that's really what I like in regards to the game and what makes it fun for me is this kind of stuff, right? If I stream, I want it to be somewhat useful. EO. It's just sometimes really hard for my brain to figure out the right words to say to explain it to everybody else. I'm a little bit weird, and my brain doesn't necessarily work quite the same as everybody else's. It's wired kind of weird, so I'm always worried that I don't explain it well. Right on, Ducky. And as much as I want stuff Mherex proof, right? It doesn't mean I don't think about the game. I think about it a lot. I just want to make my life as easy as possible. That's awesome, Brother Ray. Thanks, Spider-Guard. My mom used to always say normal is just a drier setting. So... 33 spec. I didn't buy Backstage Pass this week. Right on, Spider-Guard. She's pretty awesome. Both my parents are. Okay. I'm totally going to forget something. So help me out, guys. Here we go. Let's make this a good one. Yeah, Noah, it's okay, though. At least you learned, right? You learned. That's the important thing. We all make mistakes. I'm assuming you mean Julius, not Brutus 33 spec? Assuming you mean Julius. Week 1 was actually fairly good. If you got deep in the showdown, there were a lot of his shards in the bonus milestones, as well as Cody's. I don't know what's going to happen this week yet, though. Oh, actually, not true. Hold on. Perps gave me some good info. I think you gave it to Professor too. I want to make sure and pass it to you guys. It's about remaining shards for people during the MLC. These aren't necessarily free, by the way. These are what's out there. Okay? Some of them are free, I think. He didn't specify what's free, what wasn't. So I'm getting a screenshot for you. Professor had the info too, so you may have already seen it. What do I call this? Shards. But for your planning, this should help to ask your question, what'll be the best time to spend? This should actually help. It's nice of Scopely to do that. Honestly, that's not been a strong suit for them. I've complained a ton about not having enough info early over the years. So I don't know where you're going to get them or how much you'll have to spend. But here's your shard counts. Julius is going to... So Tiffy's at the top. Mostly tours. It doesn't say Tiffy. I cut that off. So weekly MLC event, mostly tours. 155, week 2 to 4. 125 in week 3. Midweek contest, 250. In the second midweek contest, 150 in midweeks 3 and 4. And then weekend contest. There's tons of shards for Tiffany. Julius Creed Brothers, weekly MLC, 250 in regular contests. That's Feud Prep, Blitz Extreme, Master Manager. Midweek contest, 600 this midweek. So it looks like this midweek is your best one to spend. 600 this midweek. So whatever's coming up tomorrow, that's your Julius time. Midweek 2. Midweek 3, midweek 4. It doesn't look like Julius has anything in the weekend. Just to confirm. So make sure you see that 600 first, and I don't know where they are in the milestones. Cody Rhodes, 150 in each faction competition. That's the weekly one. And then weekend contests, his is this weekend, 2,000. This is the weekend for Cody if you're going for Cody. There's 800 in each of the following weekends. So there you go. If you want Julius this midweek, if you want Cody this weekend, are the most bang for your buck. It looks like on paper, that's no guarantees, but that's the best I can do for you. Usually we don't get that kind of info, so that's useful. So there you go. Okay, Mrs. Mherex is going to get home soon, so I want to get this recorded. That could be free. I have no idea what they're behind. It could be free. Not even guessing. Not even speculating. But there's that. So, I'm not going to speculate. Awesome, Vern. Thanks, Derek. That's super nice. It's not accurate because I feel like I'm terrible at explaining things. I try really, really hard, but it's a struggle for me. I sometimes get frustrated as well if I can't, and it's usually at me that I didn't explain it well enough that everyone could understand. I don't like trying to have to repeat it because I hate wasting time or other people's time or my time, everybody's time, really. Time is like a valuable commodity. I just feel like it's really, really, really difficult sometimes. Why am I on this screen? We want to be on this one. This can go away now. But yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right, help me not screw up. Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one I'm live on the Twitch channel, and I'm trying to do something that's fairly difficult to explain, so hopefully I get it right. I will probably be making 2 additional follow-up videos to this, one for multiply gems, one for specifically for buffs. The goal of this is so that you can understand damage at 6-star gold. In particular, gem damage, and what is good, what isn't good in regards to gem damage, plates, characters, so you hopefully can make really good choices. I'm going to start off with some fairly, to me, it's basic knowledge, but I think a lot of people are missing it. First off, every class at gold, except for Hall of Fame characters, I believe they have a 20 or 25% boost. I'm going to say 25% boost, so they're 25% higher. Every acrobat in the game, as long as your stars are filled and your levels are maxed, is going to have 67,949 base blue gem damage. That's their primary gem damage. Secondary is purple. It's less. Not every acrobat's secondary will be purple, but everybody's primary will be blue. Everybody's secondary gem that's an acrobat, assuming filled stars and not Hall of Fame and max levels, will be 56k. And the tertiary gems, the third gems, will be 45. And then finally, you have the crappier gems down here at 32k. So that's every acrobat's the same. We could look at EO, we can look at Tiffany. All of them are the same unless they're Hall of Fame. And in fact, just for fun here, no, don't get distracted, Mherex. Doesn't matter. Not important. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is EO in this has 2 MP trainers. Doesn't really matter why. Ignore it. And she has 2 30% gem damage trainers. The trainers themselves don't matter. What matters is 30% blue gem damage here, 30% blue gem damage here. Okay, that's 60% more blue gem damage. It's everything you total up, you add the 2 together, and then you multiply it by the base, right? So if we hit stats here, we have 108k, 719,000, which is what you get if you take this and times it by 1.60, which is timesing it by 60%. Now, she has other blue gem damage. It's on her strap. You can go to the blue gem damage here, and you can see she has 215% blue gem damage. So, before you get in a match, if you take this 215, then you add the 2 trainers up, which is 60%. That gives you 275% blue gem damage, which you would then multiply by 67,000. That's how much your base blue gem damage is before your opponent's straps, medals, etc. Right? So if we take that 67,900, I'm just going to call it even, and then times that by the 275%, you times it by 3.75. Her base blue gem damage in a match is 254,000 gem damage, but then you have your opponent's gem defense. So let's go into a match against Nikki, who has gem defense, obviously. She's got 20% all gem defense here, and then 4% here, 12% here. So it adds up. It's like what, 40%-ish, maybe a little more, 45. So let's go in here and see how close we are to that 254k. It's pretty close. It's like 225k. $225k. Now, the reason I'm using EO for this is she can turn the whole board blue. So 49 gems of her best gem color, right? And all the classes are a little bit different. Striker's the highest gem damage, Showboat's the lowest, but they're all fairly similar. So she can make 49 gems of her primary gem color, her highest, with 100% strap and 2 trainers, right? 225,000 times 49. Blowing up the entire board is 11 million. She's going to hit a little bit harder because we have some move damage here, and then we might cascade. But expect to see 11 to 12 million gem damage. That's what an entire board of gems with your primary color at gold is worth. For simplicity's sake, just assume 12 million. There you go, 12.9 with the cascade. Basically call it 12 million, it's a good number. Some classes might be 13, Showboat might be a little less. The important thing is, primary gem color, 49 gems or a full board, is basically going to net you 12 million gem damage. To be good at gold, to keep gold people down, you want at least 60 million gem damage. So that equates into blowing up the board 5 times or 250 gems. So unless a character can get to 250 gems, which you can by multiply, and I'll go into that in a little bit, they're not going to be good. So is gem damage good at gold? Not really. What's good is buffs and multiply gems. And let me show you again with EO how a buff works. So to get there's only 2 places in the game where you can multiply the stats off of something besides the base. One is a character buff and one is boss battle. Let me show you the character buff right here so you can understand. So again, EO's 225k. We're going to take a swipe. None of this is important yet. Okay, she's at 225k. If we were to add 60%, that's just the trainers, right? To the 225k, like we were doing with the other stuff to the original base. 60% of the original base is what was it? Was it 69k, guys? 67k? I think it was 67,000. So that would be times 1.6. It would only add, it would bring the total to 107k. So it would add minus 60. It would add 40k. So it would bring your total up to 265k. We're going to hit a 60% buff. A buff is multiplicative. Multiplicative? That's a weird word. Anyway, so to figure that out, we take the 225,000 and times that by the 60%, or 1.60, which gives us 360,000. So instead of 265k, which a plate would do if it was a 60% plate, or adding another trainer on, this adds on to the base we already have here. So you can see when I hit the buff of 60%, it's going to multiply off of that 225. And there it is, 360k as promised. So, how hard does blowing up the board hit with a 60% buff? We were at 12 million. I think we hit 11.9. Yes? That also crit. So that was harder than anticipated because of the crit. It adds about 6 million normally. Let me run it one more time. I wasn't counting on the crit. She should be around 17 to 18 million without a crit. Crazy Chef. Current meta, you need awesome stuff to be turn 1 and awesome in feud. So yes, like without great stuff, very few people in this game are even remotely good. All right. No crit this time. 360k. $20 million. So she picked up about 8 million gem damage with that 60% buff. Keep that in the back of your mind. Acrobat, 60% buff, blowing up the board, picked up 8 million gem damage. Keep that in the back of your mind. Because now we're going to go to somebody who doesn't have a buff, but does have the ability to add huge chunks of damage, percentage, in the form of a skill plate. So we're going to play Tiffany, and the goal here is not to see how Tiffany plays, so ignore that part. The goal here is so you can see what actually makes characters good in this game and what plates will be good. So definitely don't leave, don't check out on me, because this is really useful information for you. Okay. Same strap. Entourage, she has 99 MP, so we're going to have the same thing, 2 MP trainers, and we're going to use the same 2 coaches, Cody and Ozzy. So everything is identical. You can see we have the 108k, same as we did on EO here. And if you look at her stats here, you can see blue gem stats are the same. It's not times the trainer percentage, I don't think, but I don't understand equations, right, Restate, so maybe it is. Because I'm bad at math. Like smart math, algebra math, I'm bad at. Simple math, I'm good at. So you're probably right and I'm probably wrong. But as long as all of that, you add up all of their stats from plates, characters, medals, and then you times it by the base, you take that new number, and then you multiply it by the buff. If that's what that equation says, Restate, then yes. That is correct. I only understand dumb, like simple math. I'm not good at complicated math. Perfect. Absolutely correct then, Restate. I know there's you do the things in a certain order based on stuff I don't know. Anyway, this is without a plate. Just gonna show you everything is still the same. 225k. Tiffy doesn't quite blow up the board, but I'm gonna give you a baseline. We're getting 36, 37, 38, 39 blue gems. EO had 49, so 10 more. So Tiffany, instead of hitting for the 12 million EO did, should hit for about 10 million. Little cascade. There it is. 11 reduced to 10. She had a little bit of a cascade. Everything's still the same, though, right? Now, we're going to put the Tiffy plate on. Don't worry about the fact that this is a rare plate. This is so you can see how little 250% gem damage on a plate matters, or straps and medals, compared to 60% on a buff. Alright? So, what did Tiffy just hit for there, guys? Was it like 11 million? I think it was 11 million, right? We'll call it 11 million, I think. Chat, help me out if you can. I think it was 11 million. Right around 11. We got a little cascade, but right around 11. And if you remember, Eo's blue gem damage was 360k after a 60% buff. So Tiffany is going to add 250% gem damage when we click a purple move. 395k. Eo had a 60% buff, and it was 360k. Basically, a 60% buff is equal to like a 225% gem damage skill plate. So if you have somebody with a 120% buff, it's like equal to a 450% skill plate. You know, 120% buff is like proccing a Titan plate twice, basically. So, that's one buff, 395k. So if you were to add 250% to any character's gem damage and they were to blow up the board, this is about what you could expect. A few more gems, obviously, so not quite the board, but 40 gems. It's going to add about 6 million. We didn't get any extra. It adds about 6 million. So every 250% you add adds 6 million on the base gem damage. If you're blowing up the board, it's probably more like 8 million. So let's add another 6 million by adding 500%. This should put us to close to 22 million. 23 million, depending on Cascade. $24 million, probably. There's 565k. $24 million. At 500% to her primary color. Blowing up the board is not enough, guys. If you're ever wondering if a blast gem guy is good and why they don't hit harder when the Titan plate has a huge buff, this is why. A full board of your primary color with a 500% buff. So like if you take a what's her face? Powerhouse Bree, put a Titan plate on her, get the buff twice, and then blow up the board with a 100% strap, you're probably going to hit for 20 to 24 million because it's not her primary color. You know what I mean? It's just not great. So, you got to do more work. Let's see what it is at 750%. Spoiler, we're going to add another 6 million. It's going to be 30 mil. Now, what are we going to do with this information? What is the point of you telling me this, Mherex? I'm glad you asked. You can see 734k. We're going to pick up 4 extra gems, and we're going to hit for basically 30 million. Big Cascade, we're going to hit for 31 million. Maybe 32? 33, because of the Big Cascade? Okay. Why do you care? That is 750% gem damage of your primary color blowing up the board. It's not enough, right? It's not even kind of enough. So, gem damage isn't the way. Buffs and multiply gems are. And when you ask about plates, the nearing end is a great example. If you don't know what the nearing end plate is, let me show you. Lots of people ask me, Mherex, who is the nearing end plate good on? And the answer is very few people, and here's why. Ugh. Holy crap, pop-ups Batman. I'm trying to record a video. I don't care about this. Ah! Alright. It doesn't matter. Let's find... This is a really... I'll show you a good example. Who does immobiles that doesn't have a buff? Alright. Alright. So, not counting Bischoff's gear, he makes 21 gems into immobile gems. And this is taking his gear out of the equation, right? The nearing end skill plate is when you make... I need someone with a plate on to find it. Or a strap. I didn't really think that through. I can show it on a lady. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's too many characters on this account. I was doing great right up until this point, and now I've completely derailed and I'm going to lose my train of thought. Alright, you got a strap. Alright, nearing end skill plate. Right. Really? Is it on somebody? Am I blind? I am blind. We all know this. Looks like an hourglass. It's a primary plate. That's why. Right. Whenever you make 6 or more immobile gems, increase all your gem damage by 350%. We just saw 40 gems at 750% net a total of 30 million. So if you ask me, is this play good on cross? He makes what? 30 immobile gems into blue at 350%? No, it's not good. It's going to hit for basically 20 million, right? Is it going to be good on Mutant Andre? He makes 21 immobiles. No, it's not going to be that good. Who could this plate possibly be good on with what we've learned? Well, we've learned what's good are buffs and multiplies. Unless we get a very rare exception, it is super unlikely you're going to be able to proc that plate on a multiply gem, because most of them change immobiles blue. There is somebody it's pretty good on, Hall of Fame Vader, for example, because he has his primary color of 100% buff right here. And he's doing 28 gems with 100% buff, plus Hall of Fame gets a little bit bigger base gem damage to begin with. He's 77k instead of the 67k we saw, plus he's a striker, right? So he gets another 10k base. So he gets to be pretty decent with the nearing end skill plate because he has a buff. Somebody said Captain Lou. That's a pretty good example. Lou has a buff. Actually, he doesn't hit as hard as I would like, but that is exactly on the right track. This is the kind of person I would say you would want to ask, like, hey, can this be good? Increase your yellow gem damage by 95%, 28 gems, very similar to Vader, right? If you had a 100% strap on Lou, but the move charge is higher. That's what hurts Lou, so you can't have as many extras, and all of the extras help a ton with a buff. So Lou ends up being, you have to run like 3 MP trainers, well, 2 trainers and a coach. So it's Braun, it's Kofi, and it's Santa Hogan. So you miss out on a bunch of extra stuff there. And it's 95%. It's a turn 2 win basically all the time, pretty easily though. 2-cycle win rather. But this is exactly the right track of who you'd want to ask about that plate being good on, who you'd consider, because he's got a buff, right? The reason that the 100% plates are so good on multiply people is because multiply people generate so many gems. And that's where I'm going to like close this video, and I'll probably do one specifically on multiply people and plates and why they're good, and one on buff people with plates and why they're good and why it makes such a big difference. But hopefully this is your first step and helpful on understanding who's going to be good at gold, and more importantly, why they're going to be good at gold, and what kind of plates will be good and who they might be good on. Just keep in mind at gold, you basically need to blow up the board 5 times with your primary color, or 250 gems, to hit that 60 million mark, and maybe more like 275 to 300 gems if it's a secondary or third gem, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. If I didn't explain something well, try watching the video again, actually watch all of it. And then if you still don't get it, hop on a stream. It'll be much easier to explain. And let me know what you kind of want to see in the follow-up. One on buffs, one on multiply gems. That's probably my next 2 weeks on the Champions official channel on Tuesdays. We'll do one on multiplies and one on buffs, so show up if you want to talk about it there. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the stream. Good luck out there. Man, my head hurts. I didn't think I was ever going to shut up. Okay, how'd I do, guys? We got it down to 22 minutes, which I think was okay. I will get you right away over to Professor's stream because he's going to be doing a giveaway. There's plenty of time to get there. You won't have missed it. Did that go okay? Thank you, Spider Guard, very much, by the way, if you're still here. Hey, Vlad and Ghost, how are you? I was recording. Welcome in. SMG. Hey, Mherex in before the raid, right on. Thanks, Concrete Man. You approve, Zandel? Excellent. Cool. That's a really hard video to do, to try and get all the information out and make it understandable, especially considering how I forget what I'm saying in the middle of it all the time. So that was my goal for today, is to get that and hopefully help people out. So hopefully the video does okay too. Let's raid Professor. Thank you guys again. I hope you enjoyed the Kairi gameplay. Vlad, my stream is just ending. We're going over to Professor's. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 46 minutes. On Tuesdays, I start 2.5 hours earlier than most of the other champion streams start. So if you show up on Tuesdays, it's much, much earlier. I start at 2:30 Pacific. We're going to go over to Professor. He's got giveaways for you. And he's streaming champions as well, so... Went a little bit over what I wanted to, but that was I wanted to get that done and explained and make sure you guys thought it was okay. No, thank you, Concrete Man, for being here. And I'll put the video, I'll post that video tomorrow morning, and I'll post HBK in the evening. So if you need any more of it, I'll post it on the video. It's okay, Vlad. I played her with it a bunch of different ways. I like the build I just did on my channel, my top build for EO, more than with the plate, actually. That way is a little simpler, but you're going to cap at about 30 million. Thanks, King. Thanks, Big Show.
And the raid, in comes Mherex with the Raiders. There we go. The Champs channel is here. There we go. Twitch app is here. What's happening, Deputy Dog?